Hey, my anti-socialites, welcome back to another episode of the Antisocial Socialite. And you might recognize this very familiar, very famous face that we have on this show today. You, my friend, Lamar Robinson. How are you?
Yo.
I'm
Hey,
so
Katie.
happy to have you back. Hi.
Thanks for inviting me back. I'm glad to. This is my second time on the show.
It is your second time.
I'm
Well, if we
excited.
do count the couple of times I went live, you were featured on there, but this is our
Oh
first
yeah.
one-on-one sit-down discussion.
You know what's
Or second one,
crazy?
excuse me. Yeah.
When we were it's been 2 years.
Yes, and I was going to talk about that. So we're going to talk about that. I'm so excited. It has been 2 years in the making of getting Lamar back on the show. And let's just say a ton has changed since he's been on the show. And we're going to deep dive into that. But here we are now, like present day, wrapping up 2022, heading into 2023. And a lot
Yes.
has changed in your life since then. So maybe we'll go off of that right now. So when I interviewed you last time, you were in Tampa and
Mhm.
you're like, "Hi, I'm here in Florida living my best sunshine state life, but I have a major life change happening." And I'm like, "What?" And then you reveal to us. So tell us kind of what that huge life change was, and then what you're up to today in terms of making that change.
Yeah, so literally January makes 2 years since I moved to LA, that journey, like to hear like all it's so much has changed, like you mentioned, and just like packing up my bags, selling all my furniture. So I went on Facebook Marketplace, sold all my furniture, packed the car, drove home for Christmas for the holidays, and then drove to Texas for New Year's, and then came out here to LA January 5th. And it's been a interesting journey for me. A good one to say the least. A lot of people will tell you that my LA journey is a blessed one because of the way that everything just happened for me. With the opportunity to have a job, a place to stay. I literally got a roommate and moved into a nice apartment like 4 months after moving out here, which is a rarity because a lot of people stay couch surfing and looking for jobs and all these different things like for like a while. But luckily, one of my homeboys from college, and we've known each other for 10 years this year, and he had an open space in his room in his apartment, and so we both have this tutu and just everything with that was just like dope and like such a blessing, right? Because a lot of people don't have that. And I easily got plugged in and was working hard and had these other opportunities and working with Damage for a little bit with his podcast. Then I got connected with DJ Brian Henry and started helping with his block party. And it's been a lot. You know what I mean? Like my transition has landed me to work in social media. And so I manage social media accounts on the daily, helping build followings and creating reels and thinking of new content ideas for different clientele, which has been uh, a great challenge because it's taught me a lot about managing social media and also how to manage my own brand. But like, I don't know, it's a lot. It's been great though. I can't say anything less besides like it's been great, and I can't believe that it's been 2 years. Like it literally feels like just yesterday that I got out here, but in a month, not even a month, in a couple weeks, it'll be 2 years of being out here, and I'm just like, that's my yeah, exactly.
The Home Alone moment. Yeah. But
Exactly.
I thought about that because I was like, all right, I'm getting Lamar back on the show. I mean, obviously, we talk often, like through the group chat, Instagram. We're always seeing each other's stuff, sharing each other's stuff, whatever it be. But I was like, no, it's not been 1 year. It's been 2 years. And I was like, I was mind blown just like thinking about the fact that I'm like, wow, you have done so much in such a short time span. It blows my mind to see like the evolution of you as a human, you as a brand, all of your content. And I'm like, it's just so crazy. And I was just recently watching your interview with Emmanuel Keen, who happens to also be your roommate. And on that
Yep.
interview, you had mentioned like such a smooth transition. Like I stayed with my
Yeah,
brothers, I moved in here, had the job lined up,
that's
I did all, and I'm like, I think that, like you said, it's a rarity to have such a seamless transition moving to a new city. And thankfully, you already had a good network there and a good support system. And then you're just like continue to grow that, strengthen it, all that. And I was like, I don't think a lot of people have that, so I'm like, you were so
and it's
lucky.
important.
Yeah,
That's the thing. It's
absolutely.
so important. Like the network is so for me. The network I have out here, I've been building this network since like 2015, 16, right? So a lot of people that I know out here, I've known for years. I met Damage back in 2015, and on my college.
Psst, 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 psst. Didn't you do that to damage?
Oh, I was like, what is he? Yes, when I first met Damage, because he was doing what I knew I always wanted to do. And I just remembered it. And I told that story on an interview I had with him on this season of Live with Lamar. And my first interaction with him was like, I was nervous. So I'm literally like behind scenes, they're doing camera cuts. And I'm trying to get Damage's attention. And I don't know, I was too nervous to go up to him. And so I was like, you come to me, you come here. And so I'm pissing at him. He's like, what are you pissing at me for? But yeah, I've known him for a while. And of course, later, it eventually became our mentor. And all my college friends that stay out here. And it was just with LA, it's like a lot of people would love to put their friends on and put them in spaces and help them with opportunities. But I can say it definitely was difficult for a lot of them to do that for me if I was like all the way in Florida, like because opportunities in LA come like yesterday. You
Right.
can I can be sitting here today and somebody can be like, hey, is anybody available for XYZ tomorrow at 8 a.m.? And you're like, damn, I would love to do that, but I don't live there. Right. And so that network I've been building for a long time. College taught me that, to have a strong network of people and connections, genuine ones at that takes you far. And the fact that I had those things allowed my transition out here to be like so seamlessly and so smooth because a lot of them already knew my work ethic, and a lot of them were willing to also take a chance on me. Right, that's big too. 'Cause a lot of them took a chance on me for this new kid who's maybe never been in certain spaces in certain rooms, but they trusted me to be able to get the jobs done, to be able to conduct myself right because conducting yourself out here in these spaces is also very important because you can't walk into rooms with celebrities or influencers or people that are high profile and
Act a
um,
fool.
act a fool, right? And I guess you could say like fangirling, right? Like I rub elbows and I'm around a lot of people every day, pretty much. And it's dope. And for me, I've never fangirl over anybody. Terrence J once. I did fanboy over him when I met him back in 2017, I believe it was.
That was
Um,
before the car accident, right?
yeah,
We're
that was
like,
way before that.
who's that mystery girl? We still
Oh,
don't
girl,
know.
yes, yes, yes. So it was way before that. All that stuff happened. But yeah, like I'm blessed to be in a lot of rooms that I've been in, and continuing to build my network and strengthen my network for myself and my overall brand. It has been really dope.
I know. And it's exciting to see. I don't want to say like an outsider perspective, but I'm not in the midst of all of this with you. I'm not in LA. I'm not seeing your day to day. So being the recipient or the receiver of your content and the growth and all of that, all the way on opposite coast, like it's really powerful to see how much that you've been able to achieve, like grow your following, build these connections. I mean, some of you have some heavy hitting names that you've interviewed for your season, which we're going to
Yeah,
transition to in a moment for Live with Lamar. We're going to talk about that. But, the names that you've been able to pull and do these interviews, if these weren't genuine interactions with these people, trust and believe they would not be showing up to your set doing an interview with you. So it's like you're setting a genuine foundation with these people, and this will open you up to opportunities business wise, but also personally. I'm like, you
absolutely,
got to build the strong connection. But if you were just like clout chasing or like, oh, I'm gonna get into this like A-list this and I'm gonna shoot my shot and all that stuff, like it's fun to do that. Like, have we all done it at some point? Probably, yeah.
absolutely,
But at the same time, that's not going to get you anywhere. And I think with everybody having such exposure on every single possible platform and getting DMs from everybody all around the world, how do you set yourself apart that you're like, I am a human just like you, and we're going to have a great friendship, great working relationship and do all that stuff. And I think that you have successfully done that because you have such an amazing, amazing network out in LA, and
Yeah,
you built that before you moved there and you're still
yes,
building it while being there. So it's amazing.
absolutely.
Um, but let's talk about your show Live with Lamar because you're just wrapping up. Season finale actually launches today. So
Yes,
freaking exciting. But I want you to talk about, your show, what you do on there, who some of the guests are, because look at that beautiful logo, look at that beautiful set. Like we need to hype it up.
yes.
We need to talk about it.
This is the set. Shout out to my boys for doing this. The story about this set, and I don't think I talked too much about it on my interview with Emmanuel.
I heard a little
But
bit and I already know the story, but my
yes,
viewers may not have had the opportunity to watch that interview yet. So
for
spill the
sure.
beans. Yeah.
So a year ago in November, it was my birthday, right? And I my one of my fraternity brothers took me out for brunch. So we went out to brunch, right? And I was already having car issues, right? And so I wasn't supposed to drive that day, but I had to work after. And so we go to brunch and we have a great time. Excuse me. And we're heading back to the house, right? My car is messing up, so I'm heading back to the house. And on the way back to the house, where the traffic is bad, and we're trying to merge onto the lane. He's behind me, I'm here, and we're trying to get into the main highway. Well, a young lady slammed on her brakes in front of me, right? And that caused me to slam on my brakes, and we were good. My fraternity brother, unfortunately, didn't have enough time to stop on his brakes, and so he slammed into the back of me. It made me slam into the back of her, and so my car got the bulk of the damage. My back trunk was
Both
all messed
sides.
up, and that was my first car accident. My car had just turned 3, and I was in shock. I was like, and I failed at everything you're supposed to do in a car accident. I didn't take pictures. I didn't get insurance. I didn't do anything that I was supposed to do.
'Cause you're
I
in a
was
state of shock. So you're like, what do I
Yes,
even
I didn't
do?
know what to do. I'm like, yo, what? No, I can't. No, what is going on? So I'm quiet. Come home, park the car, walking upstairs. I'm just in utter shock, right? I come in and I open the door, the lights are off, and the first thing I see are these chairs. And I'm like, wait a minute. These are chairs from when me and Bravo went shopping for the set. So I open it all the way and surprise. So I have all my friends in here. I have my friends from college. I have my work friends and I have my LA friends. I have many different tribes out here. And they're all in here. I was not only shocked by the set, but I was shocked by all of them being in the set room at the same time because none of them know each other like that. So my roommate had went through because he knows I talk about these people, and so he sent DMs out and got in contact with everybody. Started this group chat, mind you. I threw him a surprise party for his birthday in October. He was already planning for my birthday in September. So him and
Wow.
all the people in here put in money to supply and build this set for me for my birthday.
And how many tears were teared that day? I would be literally pouring out, like, you guys love me this much. Like, you did this for me.
I can tell you that there is actual footage. I have not seen the footage. They had a camera here, so when one of the guys was recording, there is footage to that my roommate has. I have not seen it yet. I actually don't know if I want to see it, but I do know I was sitting in this very chair, crying my eyes out. One between I was happy, other because I was also lit because I did kept giving me shots. So it was all these emotions. I'm one of those drinkers where if I get really, really lit, I get super emotional, and so it was
And
just
you
water.
also just got in a car accident like an hour prior.
It
So,
was so much. Yes. And
yeah.
thank you for not forgetting. Yes, in my car.
Yes.
So that's how this set was born. And they were kind of like, all right, bro, no more excuses now. So when we get it started, like when you about to start doing the show, and I was like, I gotta do this and do that. Cause they had bought the couches, the table, the carpet, and everything else you see on this wall was not here yet. And I was like,
Okay.
well, I gotta figure out what I want. And so that took some time, but I also was procrastinating and like they were on my ass about, hey, like you taking too long, like let's get it up. So I found the perfect wallpaper and we put it up, et cetera, et cetera. And then I got the season started. Season 2 out here. Season 1 started back in started out here as well when I first moved out here, and then season 2 picked up out here as well with this set. Or season 1 started in Tampa, season 2 was out here, season 3 was with the set. There we go. And I've had some great guests, some phenomenal guests, from Damage to Blue. Blue was she is currently my most impactful guest of this season. I actually like want to send her some flowers because her episode was the most popular. It currently has the most views, almost at 300 views. Um, Everybody loves it. Everybody's talking about it because they learn so much. In Blue, I had a chance to work with her as her assistant when I first moved out here, and she is so full of wisdom. She's such a great spirit. She has such a good heart, and her being on the show, just a lot of those conversations she shared on the show, me and her had often in her shop when I was working with her. And so a lot of my peers, they never had the chance to talk about feelings and emotions and validation and your rising and your moons and all these different things that account, like all these different big words and difficult conversations. Blue is a mastermind behind all of that. And so she really touched a lot of my guests this season. And so like for that, she's, I definitely call her my most impactful guest and popular guest of season 3. My roommate was dope. Rachel, AT, me and AT talk about wrestling. I'm a big wrestling fan, so that's definitely one of my favorite episodes. It was a lot. And then I'm wrapping up with my season finale with Miss Janisha John, who is from the Zeus Network. Phenomenal woman, and also the woman who gave me my first opportunity to host the red carpet. So she's the reason behind that first opportunity for Bobby I Love You Pure, which I did a couple months ago. So it's been a lot. It's been a lot, right? I can't even do it.
We're going to talk about that red carpet moment in a minute because I feel like it needs its own separate conversation.
With it.
But how does it feel like being in this space now, like season 3 with the set? Like, do you feel like you're like officially fucking official? You know what I mean? You're like, I have a set. You guys are coming
Yes.
here and you're going to be interviewed with great lighting, great graphics behind me, these bomb ass green chairs. Like, you're
A
official.
whole production crew. I have a whole production crew that shoots my show. And the goal for next year is that because I edit my own episodes, I should say that. And the goal next year is that it'll be in budget for me not to have to edit. Editing is cool, but I'd rather not have to deal with it. It's great. Like I feel in my element because at first I was gonna rent out spaces. They were like, that's gonna cost a lot. Like just create your own space. And like we created our own space. We built all this, the curtains and everything. My friends built, like we built it from the ground up. So I have my own space to sit in and be in my apartment. Like this literally in my apartment. Like this area, surprises that this is my supposed to be my dining room. Like this area I'm in is supposed to be the dining room. We don't have a dining room table. We don't cook dinner and stuff like that. We're two boys in a bachelor pad. So we turn the dining room area into my talk show set. So as soon as you walk in the door, boom, it's right there. And that's where the magic happens. And it's amazing. It's so motivating. It's so great to have this space. It's so official. I've gotten tons of compliments because not to toot my own horn, but my set looks better than some of the bigger names out here that have their own platforms and stuff. My set looks really good. It looks legit. It's well put together. I love the TV element. Shout out to my girl Rachel, who also had an interview this season. She was the one that said, "Put a TV on the wall now." And don't tell my bougie ass that because you see what happened, and it just looks so like legit. Like it looks like so real. Even down to custom cups. Like it was my initials.
What?
Like, yeah, these have my initials.
Wow.
I don't think people can see that on camera, but yeah,
Oh
these all have
no,
my
you can see it. You really are official. I'm low key jealous. As I'm sitting, okay, so you would remember because you've been an avid supporter and watcher since season 1, but I'm currently sitting on the emerald color velvet chaise that I used
Mhm.
to sit on my balcony with. And yeah, I'm in a corner of my bedroom right now. I was like, I don't want to do in my living room right now. These are like literally, I talked on my interview with Bo, peel and stick like flowers. It's
They
just
look
a
like I
random
thought they were
corner,
dangling. Oh, they're on the wall. I thought
right?
they were dangling.
Yeah, I have like this like random little branch and then little like
Ha.
this little corner in my room.
Yes, 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 yes.
And I'm like, is it the best setup? No, because you can see like the reflection. But I was like, you know what? I have zero budget and I have a lot less followers than you do. Oh my God, hold on. I feel like now I've like disrupted my computer. I'm like, calm down, ma'am. Calm down. Okay. Um, No, but you are super official, like, with the whole setup, you feel like it truthfully is a set, sound quality is phenomenal, but it's like, I agree with you because you see a lot of people out there doing podcasts, any visual, element,
And some
and
big names where like
green
they're getting a
screen.
lot more views and a lot more attention than I am. And, they're working hard, and eventually, we'll be there too. But my set, oh, I got it down packed. Like this,
You
I'm
don't
on like,
have a green screen. Like, you're not fake flexing, you're not
no,
renting
this
out
is
an
real. Like
Airbnb.
all this is
Yeah,
real. Like this, I own everything here. Like this is all mine.
yeah.
These are my green
Yes.
chairs, my real pillows. Like this is all mine. Like
This is no like rent a center type bullshit that after because we
nope,
just wrapped up the season, it's going back to the store. This is like
nope, it is
actual
mine.
possession of Lamar Robinson. Um,
Absolutely.
no, I love it. No, I'm so happy. And to kind of circle back for having impactful guests, I was actually going to talk about like who was the most notable. And I think like, just seeing Blue be on episodes that I've watched with Hollywood Unlocked Uncensored. Like she's really in tune with a lot of things. She is very much
She's very vocal. She's gonna speak her mind.
yes, thank you. I was like, she's not afraid to do. I was like trying to think like how to verbalize that. It's been a long day. We
Gonna
talked on
speak her mind.
camera what
It's
kind of
all
day
good.
it's been. Yes. So, with that, I think it is something that we're talking about being genuine and like you as the host, you as this network creating content, creating network based, like I want to make friends, but I also want business partners out here type vibe. You
Right.
also like very much welcome those genuine people onto your show because if they're going to be like fake, whatever, you're like, why? It's like, it's nice to like interview a big name, but you're like, I also want a connection with you. So it's nice that she can come on there, feel very much welcomed, very much like speaking her mind, like the vibe is right. It's nice to have
Right.
that. So it's 300 views and counting. We're clearly not stopping at the 300, but like
Oh no,
congrats
she's
to
probably gonna
getting that.
get a lot. She's gonna
Yeah,
get way a lot. Like she's not stopping. I know it.
yeah, yeah.
Her episode
No,
was great. It was phenomenal.
yeah, and you know what? You wrapped up the season already. Time to do a recap video. Be like,
Mhm.
link in the bio. Watch all of these interviews.
Oh yes, Lava Lamar TikTok's coming soon. So all those old episode clips and things are gonna be going to TikTok. That's a spoiler. But yeah, there isn't a TikTok yet for Lava Lamar. I have a personal TikTok and I've been trying to do both, but the way TikTok works, you can't like do two pieces of content like that, like my own personal or me dancing and moving my hips, and then have me with an interview clip on the side. It just doesn't work. So I'm gonna separate the two and have Lava Lamar's on TikTok. So all those episode clips that you're seeing on Instagram are going to be on YouTube. So we're going to do a refresher in the years coming around so people can go back and catch those episodes.
Amazing. Yeah, and then you could do just like little bites, starting to get that TikTok up of I mean anywhere from season 1 all the way through 3 or you start off
Absolutely.
fresh at 3, like whatever you want to do, like do a
Absolutely.
little throwback here and there, do whatever, but I think that's an incredible idea. And don't worry, I did not forget about the red carpet moment because we're still going to talk about that. But while we're on the moment of TikTok, like yes, you have a TikTok. I follow you on there. Yes, you have Instagram. Follow you on there. Yes, you have YouTube. I'm subscribed to you on there, like whatever, right? What platform do you feel like is the most beneficial for your content? Like, where do you actually see the most engagement, the most traffic? Like, what do you think is most successful to you? Because I think a lot of people that may want to get into this industry don't know how. Not to say that we're vets in this, and clearly you have a lot larger following, a lot larger views than I do, but it's like I'm more in tune with this right now of like where I'm getting attraction. But like, what is
Yeah.
successful for you?
I would have to say Instagram. And of course, I will say this too. It definitely varies per person and per platform and per content. For someone that works in social media, you have to figure out your niche, right? Your niche audience and where your content may be best at. And for me, because my show has interview clips and I'm talking, it's like talk show based. Instagram for sure, and it's gonna thrive on Instagram on TikTok as well because TikTok is also they have the same TikTok and Reels are pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
And so those two spaces work the best for me. That's where I get my most engagement. Like I was saying, Instagram. A lot of people are commenting. The views are going through the roof, and it just looks more appealing. So Instagram has been like my best friend. One because, and not only that, because Lava Lamar has his own Instagram. It just kind of like works. Doing the collab feature that Instagram introduced earlier this year has been, or maybe it was last year, has been amazing as well. So I'm able to collab with both pages and then send some followers over to Live with Lamar. That way, that page can get its brand up and its following up. Um, yeah, I would say Instagram.
Nice. Okay.
Instagram.
Yeah, good to know. I mean, it's so funny. I don't, my TikTok is just like, again, like personal stuff. It's not like clips from my show. Maybe that would be one thing I would do. But having my Instagram there, right? I'm like, oh, I'll just do like random stuff related to my show. I have my antisocial weekend playlist. I'll just like put little bits and pieces of my personal life on there too, because I feel like, in between seasons, or, maybe I'll share something. I mean, my brand is to be antisocial. So when I'm going out and posting on spaces, they're like, bitch, you're not antisocial. You lie. But like I really am. I'm very selective. But it's so crazy to me because I'm like, I'll get a handful of likes, and I'm just like, okay, thanks for liking my stuff. I'm not like really necessarily like eager to build the following, build the likes, do all of this with just a bunch of random people. I want like quality engagement with these people. So that's why I'm like, it's a little slow growing. I'm like just under 600, but I'm like, hey, I love all of you people that are actually following me. So thank you. But like the most popularity I have is a reel that I did when I went to the Rosalia concert back in September.
Nice.
And every waking moment when and that I have my notifications for all social media turned off, so I don't see things until I open the app. Every time I go to my anti-socialite page, there's literally dozens and dozens and dozen more likes. I am at like 5,800 and counting likes,
Nice.
and like 42,000 plus views on this one
Nice.
little reel that I took at the concert of her singing. And all I did was tag her and then hashtag her and her like tour name. And I'm like, that's the power of social media. You don't realize. I'm like, oh, I went to the show and I'm just gonna like throw it up because that page is a public page, and I could have posted on my personal, which is private, whatever. But just my friends are gonna see it. But like having the opportunity to like post it on my public page and then just a simple tag and simple hashtags, I've literally like grown it.
Hmm.
I'm like, this is mind blowing. Like people
And
like
I'm sure you probably use one of her songs as the real
it
sound.
was literally just like me recording from my seat, her on stage singing one of her songs from her new album.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, like
Instagram will
you
do
guys,
that.
yeah. And I'm like, there's so many. I mean, granted, I think she has like over like 22 million followers. So it's like, people are curious about her. They might see a hashtag, they might see whatever, but this like just keeps going and going and going. And like, while I'm like, this is fun, like, I just want to see where this goes at this point. I'm also like, can you guys do that the same for my content, not somebody else's talent? But I was like, beggars
It's
can't
all
be
about
choosers.
capturing. It's all about capturing your audience attention. You have to do things that interest them.
Yeah.
You have to find a hook because the way Instagram works, that first 3 seconds, 5 seconds matters. What
Yes.
they're seeing, what they're hearing, the format of that video matters. With her, the hashtags definitely assisted with that, and also the more viewership and likes it gets, the more Instagram is gonna push that video up. So when people search hashtag or search her name, your video is gonna be one of the first ones they see because it's got one the most engagement with that hashtag. And so
Yeah.
people are always going to click on your video. So when it comes to your own personal content, it's important to pull important sound bites. It's important to have it formatted, and the look matters, right? So
Yes.
Instagram is real big on long form content. So if it's like this, it's a good thing. The shorts, square, and I think that is horizontal, um, doesn't always work the best. Again, depends on the content.
Well, and that's the tough thing when they switched from like they made the merge from videos versus reels. So many of like an interview like this is being filmed on the horizontal, not the vertical. So I'm just like, how do I create the space where it's visually appealing, but I also have to abide by like their format? And it is challenging, but I was like, you know what?
What
Maybe
you
one
can
day I'm
do
gonna get. Huh?
What you can do is either through a video editing app or even through something as simple as Canva. Um, you can take the clips and put them on top of each other, kind of like Instagram Live,
Mm,
and you can upload it that way. Because you can literally like crop, like you can. Because I've done this way. There's one episode of Live with Lamar that I did on Instagram, and we did it on Instagram Live, and so it was vertical. But when I used the video and put it on YouTube, I download the video and then I edited it to where I could put us side by side the way I believe your interviews are. So I took the
Yes.
top and I put it on the side. So that's also something I'm willing to teach you and show you how to do that as well. But like, yeah, that may be what's gonna be better when you're posting clips. It's gonna look best if it's like that.
Right. Right. I would love, yes. Give me a tutorial because I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's
I
real
don't.
easy. It's real simple. Like, and like I said, Canva, you can do it on like Canva. Like it's so like whatever you use, it's so easy.
All right, good to know. I mean, I was literally at work today under a Google Doc and I was like, how can we lock this row so when I scroll up to read this report, that row
Did you
stays
find the
locked?
freeze?
That's it, huh?
Did you find the freeze button?
No. And I'm like, I have like somebody that's like literally like 13 years younger than I am. No, probably 15 years younger than I am. And then somebody older than me. I'm like, how the fuck do y'all do this? I'm so inept. And they actually didn't know either. So I was like, all right, I'm not that
So you haven't
stupid.
figured it out.
No, I'm like,
I
it's
know
not
I
the
could
end.
teach you how to do it too. It's a but that's it's in your well, I don't know which tab is on. I don't know if it's edit or view or whatever at the top. And there's a thing called freeze, and you literally highlight the row that you highlight the row. You go to that button, you press freeze, and it's gonna freeze that. So when you scroll, those top rows or columns or whatever won't go nowhere. They'll stay at the top the whole time.
All right, I will definitely be trying that because I was just like, I was highlighting the column, going here, doing this. I was like, conditional formatting. No, that's
Yep.
just about changing
You literally
color.
click so whether it's the
Yeah.
letter or the number or whatever, you click that, and so it highlights the whole row, and you literally go to the top, and then you find freeze, and it literally freezes that row.
The more you know.
Look at that. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
glad. We're giving a tutorial. Those who don't, the viewers who don't know that now would know, there's a way to do it, and you guys can follow up with Katie. She'll teach you how to do it once I teach
Right.
her. So
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not this dumb. Like, I'm pretty tech savvy, but I'm like, and I'm
it's
like,
not hard.
I was like,
When
Google
you see it,
Doc.
I will tell you when you see it, when I show you, you're gonna be like, wow, I'm so dumb.
Yes. Well, that's why I was like, it makes sense to be under conditional formatting, right? But
Yeah.
no, but it's not. But where's the
It's its own
freeze?
thing.
Like,
It literally says like freeze. Like when you drop down the box, the arrow or the drop box column, it's gonna say freeze. Like it's not in no other thing to go. It's literally says freeze by itself.
all
It's like
right, good to
YOLO.
know. See, I knew we had to get together and talk about many things, and you just taught me something else new, so I appreciate it.
Of
Um,
course.
all right, so now let's talk about the red carpet moment because I'm gonna keep dragging it on for the whole duration of the interview, and I'm like, no, let's not do that. But, it's crazy because I think you're good on screen as much as you're off screen because you're doing your editing. You're now teaching me stuff about social media management. You're even teaching me about Google Docs, whatever. But you're amazing on camera. You have a personality, definitely like brighter than this light bulb. Okay.
Thank you.
So how did you get this opportunity to be on the red carpet? Like, I'm so curious about that because I actually never even asked you, and I'm super curious. So,
So Janisha, again, my season finale guest, um, I met her through Damage, and that kind of led me to I was about to work with the network doing some social media work, and that kind of fell through. But me and her stayed in contact. We stayed really good friends. Every time I seen her, it was always love and always greatness. So one day, she hits me up and she's like, "Hey, Lamar, like, do you do red carpet hosting?" I'm like, I do. I've never done it before, but I can do it. What's up?" She's like, "Oh, we have red carpet this weekend. They're looking for a host. I wanted to throw your name in the hat if you were available and wanted to do it." And I said, "Oh, for sure. Let me know." And so literally, it wasn't until like maybe the day before that she hit me up. She's like, "Hey," excuse me. It wasn't until like the day before that she was like, "Hey, they want to move forward and have you host." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. Like I can do it." So I go there to get ready. Now, mind you, Katie, I'm thinking that it's going to be like a live studio audience, like some 106 in Parks, some TRL. Like I'm in front of an audience. I'm in front of the red carpet next to the production area, and I see the on-screen logo like this that they're getting ready to like basically put for a live stream, and it says like "Bobby, I love you" per red carpet, hosted by Lamar Robinson. But I'm like, wait, what? Wait, this is gonna be this is gonna be live. Like people about to see me through the streaming app, and so I'm like, oh. And so the production dude comes over. He finally tells me, he's like, "Yeah, this is live. We just need you to talk. As long as this camera is on, we need you to talk." this camera's gonna be facing the red carpet. This camera's gonna be facing you. So whenever it's on you, you need to talk. We're gonna be sending you talent to come and talk to you, but other than that, figure it out. And I'm like, wow.
Wow. Way to throw you
Now,
into the fire. Like, just
and I had
here's
preps.
your
Like
yeah.
I had questions for Bobby. I had questions for his guests, and even with the not guests, his contestants. Even with the contestants, the Zeus had not announced who was gonna be on the show yet. So I just was kind of like going through comments and going through some of their Instagram posts to figure out who these guys were. So when they came to me, I knew what their faces were and what their names were. I had questions for other Zeus talents, so people from other shows. I had questions for Lemmy Plummer and Janisha and people that work, on the exec level. I had all my questions ready, but I just wasn't prepared that I was going to be live. And so they said boom, and I started talking. And it was a little slow at first, like me getting comfortable, like, yo, what do I even say? Like I'm standing here by myself. Okay, boom, shows. I don't know much about the show. I don't have like a script, I don't have a teleprompter, I don't have nothing. It's just me and what the hell is on on my dome where I can pull out my ass. I'm sitting here talking, and then the guests started showing up, and all the talent started showing up, and that it got more comfortable because it became a revolving door, and they were coming. It got to a point to where they wanted me to wrap up interviews quicker with them because I was talking because they said they want me to talk, so I was just talking.
Right.
But they were coming. And it was great. I asked a lot of people. I formed my questions to be about love, relationship advice, zodiac signs. Zodiac signs is always a big conversation you get people behind. What's the worst zodiac sign you ever dated? So I made it fun, and after a while, I was great. And the network was very satisfied and happy with my performance. And Janisha will talk about that on a premiere, on a season finale when you guys see it as well. And she was like, "I'm proud of you. Like you killed that shit." She's like, "You did amazing." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." So, but it was live. Like it was live. Like no cuts. There was
No
no.
swearing because it's not getting censored, anything like that. You're like, the camera is rolling. This is live time. I can't.
If I get
Yeah.
stuck, if I stumble, if I fall, if I mess up, they see this.
No
It's live.
bathroom breaks, no water breaks. You were on this carpet interviewing these people till they go on stage. And you're like,
Pretty
ah!
much. Pretty
Yeah,
much. But it
yeah.
was a great opportunity. I really enjoyed it, and it felt comfortable.
Yeah.
It felt like where I needed to be at, and I enjoyed it. And I'm hoping and pushing and praying and working for more of those moments in 2023.
That's incredible. I would definitely say out of anybody in the LMG group, like you were probably like one of the top 2 to 3 people I can wholeheartedly imagine on a red carpet with like little to no prep time and you'd be able to crush it.
I've been doing it for so many years. That's the thing. Like for
Yeah.
being in our group, and being in our group, I can say this it wasn't challenging in a bad way. For me, I can say I never wanted to or want to come off as the know-it-all, right? Because I feel like I was one of the people in the group that had the most experience of doing this already, right? A lot of people were freshly coming, and you can kind of tell who really, really, really is about this because of those of us that are still having our platforms and doing things, and those that kind of been said, nah, this ain't for me, and went elsewhere. All right. And so this has been something I've been doing since 2013. So I came into the group, with so much knowledge and experience already, and just, needed some help to be more fine-tuned and kind of get my stuff together and kind of become a better personality, with my peers like you and Bo and Julia and Mello and 6'5" and the whole gang. Everybody we talk to, everybody, Deacon Kyle, everybody.
Deacon
Yeah. Yeah. So like it's been great, what I mean, and it's been like so motivating because there's always you never stop learning, and so there's always more to learn. There's always ways to critique yourself and to become better. And I think the transition from B Rob to Lamar Robinson was so needed and so amazing, and it helped me blossom. It was perfect because it happened in August that I changed my name. August of 2020 of 2019. Oh no, 2021. It was great.
No, it was 2020, wasn't it? Right before you moved.
Nope, I moved in. Oh wait, yeah. Oh wait, when I moved out here, 2020, 2021. Yes,
No,
August 2020.
2021.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
August 2020, I got here August 2021, 20, okay, yeah, 2 years, you're right.
Yeah, no, because I know that time frame only because I was first introduced to you as B Rob, and we saw the transition in the group as like content was being created, and Jason Lee came on there, was like, drop the name, and you're like,
You remember,
okay,
yeah, it was, I tell
yes.
you, I'm like, Jason is the reason that he's like, you're great, but like, drop the name. Like, I'm not here for it. And I was like, that's crazy because I've already been thinking about that. So, boom. And everybody, all my supporters love the name change. I love it. I feel like it was very much more mature. You have somebody like Damage, Damage, always says, he wish he could have just went by his real name as Abdul versus DJ Damage, but it still fits him. He's a DJ, but and there's still times he still kind of push out more of the Abdul because my mindset was like, I'm gonna get older. Do I really want to be calling myself that guy B Rob as nah? Like I'm gonna become an older individual and more mature, and I fight Lamar Robinson it just
It
feels so
fits
good.
you.
It just fits. It just feels amazing.
I mean, it is really like your name, so it
It really
fits,
is
but
my
it's
name, right?
it's not like it's like a random like, pseudo name and we're
Name.
like,
It
okay,
literally
this
is
is
my name. Like it's on the birth certificate. Like it's there,
yeah, no, this
and
is
I
like
love it.
actually his name, guys.
Yes.
But yeah, because a lot of people like create a stage name or whatever, and they're like, this is what I'm gonna be known as. And you're like, no, this is just my name. Like, here I am, guys. This is me. So it's very much fitting to you. But I agree. And because for me, people sometimes are like, no, you need to change your name. You're not really an antisocial socialite. I'm like, but you don't know me. Like, you know my content, right? But you
Content.
don't know me because my phone is dry as hell. Like, people don't reach out. I don't hang out with people, like all this stuff. I was like, no, if you know me and my everyday life and you know me and my content, they are two very different things. So, like, while I chat with you and I'm like, oh my God, yeah, and high energy and great talks and blah, 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 blah. After this, I'm gonna be like, I'm tired. Like,
What is your
everybody,
how many seasons have you had?
this is my sixth season.
Awesome.
So I
Yeah.
did 5 full seasons. You were part of episode 75, which was the wrap up to season 5.
Dope.
So I started this, what? Well, we're coming on, it will be 3 years in March that I joined LMG. And then I started, and when you talk about like the level of experience that people had, like coming into the group, I had nothing. I have been following Damage for a while on Instagram, and I kept seeing him post in his stories about how he has the Legendary Media Group and how to
Mhm.
become like, part of the entertainment industry and do all this stuff. And I kept seeing it, and I'm like, okay, cool, like good for him. He's doing that stuff, right? We're like week 2 into the pandemic, and I'm like, oh, I don't think we're going back to work anytime soon. So, I
Wow.
ended up reaching out, and I was like, I feel like I need to take this opportunity during this time that we're locked down to learn something, because I was so busy at work and so stressed, and I felt like I had no work life balance because my particular job at the time didn't allow that. And, so I was like, I have this time. I'm going to carve out and do something for myself, learn something, and this is the best opportunity to do it. So I had my call with his former like colleague, and then he patched Damage on the line. He's like, I love your energy. Can't wait to have you in the group. Let's get this started. First call is like this Sunday. I'm like, oh, great. Like, let's roll it on in, right?
Yep.
So I'm just learning so much about all of like everything on these calls, and a few weeks go by and he's like, listen, if you don't have content, you have to go out and create it. And that was the moment that I was like, oh, well, yeah, now I need to like actually start applying what I've been learning. So, what do I do? I'm like, I would probably like, really hurt your eardrums if I started a singing career, or like I have no balance. So, like, dancing career is not an option. Like, what am I going to do? I can't be a TikTok dancer singer. Like, what am I going to do? But I was like, everybody since I was younger has been like, you need to host your own talk show. Like, you need to be that Sally Jesse Raphael, Ricky Lake,
And do
whoever
it.
type vibe, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what I got to do. That's my moment to create the content. And a lot of people in our group, especially like because they do have more knowledge, they are very strategic about the content and the schedule and this and this. I just do it when I can. I do what I want. I come up with things on the top of my head, and then I'm like, let's start executing it in the next
Facts.
episode, and it's very organic to me. So I'm not pushing it. I don't have anybody to respond to or be held accountable to. So I'm like, I can do this at my own free will. And if it flops and like whatever. But that was the biggest thing. So coming in, having zero content, zero kind of understanding about this business, and then learning from damage, but then also having members who have now become friends, such as yourself, with all this experience. I learned so much from you guys. I'm like,
You've been
obviously,
and you killed it. You know what I mean?
y-
Someone that like you're somebody who may not have had the most experience, but like you killed it, you owned in because I think the misconception was like, oh, we're gonna sign up with this class and then boom, I'm gonna be where damage is at. The goal of the
yeah,
class was I'm gonna teach you skills that you can use to produce your own content that will hopefully get you in the eyes and the rooms of people that are gonna buy into whatever you're doing, but you still have to do the work. And I think a lot of people got lost with that.
yes.
And after a while, and they got bored of like, oh, we're doing the same thing. Da, da, da. But it's like the go Damage's goal was as a mentor, as a teacher, to teach you and help you become better and better. So that's why every week we're doing like the same exercises, or we're trying this and we're doing that, is to help you get better and better so you can have content. And that you are the content and you are the personality. And there's no specific way to be, is to be you. Like I know for you, I think I mentioned to you before, those show reviews and Queen of the South and all those things you do is like totally, because it's easy for you to talk about. Just like me, one day I hope to probably have a wrestling podcast because I know so much about wrestling. I watch it, I can talk about it for days. Like I know it, and that's a strong suit of mine. You know so much about something, it allows you to be that much flawless at content like that because you already know you. It's easy. It's like I can do it with my eyes closed. Like I'm pretty sure you can talk about Queen of the South with your eyes closed. Like every bit, moment, character, behind the scenes, what's supposed to happen, spoilers. I heard this. We're gonna see, like, you know what I mean? So
And that's the really beautiful part about it, because when you do talk about something that you're passionate about and you're really, in
people
tune
lock
with,
in.
yes. So for me, it's so interesting because during yeah, no, it was before the pandemic actually hit. But I was literally in my bedroom about to wrap Christmas gifts. And I was like, I'm not in the mood to like watch anything Christmassy right now. And I was like, do on Netflix. And I just saw this, right? And I'm not huge into like violence, cartel shows, like all this
Right.
stuff, like normally, right? But I was like, this seems like a dope show. I watched like all three seasons like within a week. It was
Hooked.
disgusting. Hooked. And
Hooked.
then during the pandemic is when season 4 came out. And then what, last year? Was it last year? Yeah. See, I'm like, was it? Yes. Yes. I was like, I can't, I feel like it's like season 5, which was the last season, came out, right? So I was like so addicted. I've watched the entire series like multiple times. Like people don't understand. This is like my comfort show at this point. Like I could turn it on
Wow.
to
You
fall
sound like those
asleep.
Grey's Anatomy addicts.
Yes, but now I'm like I am an international like cartel queen pin in my head, right? Even though I don't do drugs, like I hate guns, but it's like my mind when I think like my willpower is, and then like me like actually being a scaredy cat
I
about
know
it.
I have those moments with different things too. So I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? All of a sudden, again, the organic way of like, oh, I'm just gonna do these show reviews. Like, why not? Right. So I was like, fuck it, let me just do it. Season 5's coming out. Like, people are invested in this show. So I got on there. And people don't understand like the preparation that it takes to do this. I didn't watch that episode once. Okay. I watched it 3 times before I recorded. So what I would do is it showed at 10 o'clock at night. So from 10 to
Mhm.
11 on the USA Network, including commercials. Okay. I would watch it the first time. I'm literally taking notes. Then 11 o'clock hits, I wash up, I get ready for bed. And during that time, I have it then playing on my phone because it's now uploaded to the USA app. So on my phone, I'm watching it. And then I'm like, did I miss anything from the first time that I'm now picking up on the second time? Right. And then by midnight, I go to bed. I wake up in the morning, boom, watch it
Again.
again when I'm getting ready in the morning. I'm doing shower, washing up, everything. I have it on and I'm like, oh, she definitely said this. I want to make a point of that. I missed that in the first couple times. Boom, record my episode that morning and then get it out because that episode is still very fresh. So it's time sensitive when you're talking about things like that. So even there's so much that's been going on in the news, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes, but there's so much that you're like, if you want to have that moment where people are engaged and like actively looking for this topic through a hashtag, a tag, whatever it is, you have to do it at this time, right?
Absolutely.
So it was such a quick turnaround. I'm like talking like less than 12 hours later, and I have an episode recap. So I got a lot. Those are actually on YouTube, especially like some of my top views. Actually, not even some. Those are definitely my top views on YouTube. I've had over 1,000 views either on YouTube or Instagram. On there, I have tagged the actors that are in the show. They have liked, commented, reshared the posts, like engaging. Some of them follow me on Instagram now. Like it's just incredible. And I'm like, I wasn't doing it necessarily to be like, pick me, I want to be seen. I'm like tagging them because they're amazing and I want to like share, all the love and give them their flowers. And they're real people, but they also understand the fan base for this show. It is like a family vibe, so it's like they know if they're sharing it, this person would love it. And it's just like, I think it was just like such a great group of actors that were on the show. I'm like, this is amazing, right? So my fangirl moment when this was all wrapped up and the season had ended, and I'm like, okay, right. Alicia Braga, who is Teresa Mendoza, the main character, she was on a panel on Zoom about like Latina women in the entertainment industry. And they also had the executive producer on the show who also, I
Mhm.
think she's of Cuban descent. And Alicia is Brazilian. And then they had the moderator and they're, so it was great. And so there was like a small lottery of people that could like sign up. And I was like, oh, I'll just sign up. It's cool to like watch and see what more they have to say about like being in the industry, maybe about the show, whatever, blah, 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 blah. They're like, if you guys have any questions, put it in the chat and we're going to pick a few questions at the end of the panel and then go from there, right? So I put my question in early on and then they wrap up and they're like, all right, we're going to ask only 3 questions. And they go through and I'm literally question number 3. And
Oh,
I
dope.
got to talk to them and I was like, oh my God, oh my God,
Oh, that's so dope.
oh my God. I was
That's so lit.
dying, Lamar. I was like,
That's so
okay, first
dope.
of all, Alicia, I love your work and
It's
like, thank
for-
you so much. And like, thank you for bringing awareness to like the Brazilian government right now because like Bolsonaro is very much like Trump. And like,
Look
I
at
think you
you.
raising awareness about the Amazon burning down, like, thank
You
you.
went
Like,
in.
this is a global issue. And I was like, okay, but anyway, so back to like this part. And then like I asked her a question about like her career or whatever. And it was like so sweet, but I was like, this is my time to talk to her. I was like so fangirling, but I was like, I need to stay composed. I need to like, what? This is crazy.
Mhm,
But yeah.
mhm.
So it's like you do have those fangirl moments, but if I ever get to your level, breaking into like getting to meet people, I was like, I need to keep that in check. Like I
Because
thought
it
like,
becomes second
yeah,
nature to you at that point
yeah,
because one, you get used to it, like you mentioned several times, they're normal people.
yes,
They really are dope and normal and nice people. It's all about your approach, right? Some people just kind of come off wrong and you kind of got to read the room. That's so important. Sometimes it's not the moment. If I'm at the airport and I see Beyonce and she got glasses on, she got her kids are crying. That's not a moment to
the
go up to her and
time.
ask her for a picture. She's clearly busy. It's not about you. And now you can't be mad she cusses you out. Now you want to call her a bitch. You can't do that.
Right.
She's dealing with crying kids. What would anybody do? You want to ask for a picture while I'm crying and it's 5 a.m. and while they're crying, it's 5 a.m. in the morning. Do I look like I want to be friendly? So people
No.
you don't know how to read the room. You have to know and your approach and like how you talk. You just gotta be. You just have to know. You got to read the room and like sometimes it's just not for that. I've like I said, I've been at plenty of parties or certain engagements with certain people and they're like just having a great time with their friends. And guess what I do? I see them and I keep it pushing because guess what they're doing? They're enjoying themselves. They're not there to be a celebrity right now. They're just trying to have fun. Now, if y'all both have to be at the bar and y'all both getting another drink, that's the moment maybe. You know what I mean? Where
Right.
it's like, oh damn, hey Beyonce, like, how you doing? And just talk to her like she's normal. It's gonna be easy. It's like, hey, dope, good to see you. And just talk to her like she's normal. I'm like, oh my God, just gotta, yes.
Yes.
You have to read
Yes.
the room.
Absolutely. And I agree with you. And I think it's like there's a time and place for everything and to like
I mean,
understand that you're one out of many people that might try to be getting their attention, want a picture, want an autograph, want a
They
selfie,
already worry every
whatever.
time they step outside the house. Like just like think about us. Like we have moments where we're gonna be antisocial. You best believe I have moments with my social butterfly ass where when I don't want to be bothered, like we talked about with Emmanuel, I lock
Yes,
myself in this room and I don't come out. Like and he, I'm in there. I'm just chilling. I'm decompressing. I'm getting myself back together, right? And so we have those moments, and celebrities do too, or influencers they do as well. So you know, but
I
you get used to
know.
it.
Yeah, and I think like you have more exposure to people that are of that caliber, so it's like,
And they right,
okay,
they down the street.
yeah. But my question to you is, between you and I and all my viewers, who would you fanboy over if you actually saw them now? Even though we just talked about that and you're like, all right,
Yeah,
well, I'm
if
gonna,
I saw them,
yeah.
who would I fanboy over? Hmm.
And it doesn't
You-
have to be like a crying baby moment where it's like you have to read the room. It's just like if they're in a space where they're like welcoming of people. So like if it's Beyonce, it can be Beyonce, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. NBA YoungBoy popped in my head. NBA
Very,
YoungBoy popped in my head.
very random choice. Okay.
Very
Yes.
on brand for me. If you know me, you know that's on brand. Um, I don't know. I've met Megan Good. Like met her and she's dope. I've met Janae Monet. She was really dope. Beyonce, I think Rihanna for sure. Maybe Steve Harvey. Um, Nick Cannon. Man, I wasn't a fanboy. I'd be dope to meet him though. Maybe Rihanna and Beyonce. Cause they're just
Love.
so like you don't see, you know what I mean? To come across them, it was destiny. Cause
Yes.
they don't be out regular. You know what I mean? Like they don't just be in the street. So if I come across them on a random ass day, yes, best believe like
Who?
The Undertaker.
Ah, yes. We had to throw somebody in there because I'm like, come on, wrestling is like your second job,
The
technically.
Undertaker.
Yes.
The
Good
Undertaker.
choice.
I need to meet him before one of us leaves this earth.
Yes.
I need to
Yes.
meet the Undertaker for sure. Absolutely, yes. As a wrestling fan, someone I've watched all my years growing up, I've gotten emotional with him retiring, and every time he comes, I get excited. The Undertaker,
Okay.
for
I
sure.
love
Mr.
that.
Mark Calloway needed to happen.
I love that you even know his actual name because I never knew. And I did grow up on wrestling as well. So the fact that, yeah, like I know his whole bio.
Mark Calloway, I know. Yes,
Yes.
know his
Oh,
ex-wife, his current wife. Yeah, yeah.
I love that for you. I'm like, I hope that happens for
The
you.
Undertaker. That's my answer. I'm locking it in.
All right. It's
That's
in. We gotta tag him. We gotta find him and be like, dear Mr. Undertaker,
and then
please
him
meet
comes
me.
in there staring at me. I'm gonna be scared, but like,
You would literally have to wear a diaper if he was on your set interviewing.
listen, he go. I'm gonna have to. I feel like he's humongous. Like I feel like he's like huge. I'm sitting here and imagine him in a chair next to me. I feel like he's like gonna make me look like such a midget.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to like put you on a few stacks of phone books and then like, try to balance it out and then we'll
I'm
like
gonna have
get
to
you
make sure I sit up like straight
yes,
because
you're like yeah. No, 100%. But that's like the moment and I'm like I think like for me it would be Sarah Jessica Parker and Lady Gaga
Lady Gaga's dope.
and
Love it.
Jay-Z. And Jay-Z. But like I love how I asked you about one person you'd fanboy over and then you're like here's my list and then I'm like yeah,
Here's a
I
list
don't
of
have
people
one
that
either.
I would probably be like, wow, like it's really you.
Yeah. You're like it's
Yeah,
you.
you
Yeah.
like it's really yeah, definitely Undertaker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
that's
got to
my
find out.
non-cliche answer.
We need to find out like where he lives and then just kind of like frequent his neighborhood and just be
He
like,
lives in Texas.
all right, you want to take a road trip?
I think he's in like San Antonio, maybe.
All right, let's
I don't think
go.
he's yeah, somewhere in there. To go, where am I gonna find him at?
I don't know. We're gonna just like randomly find his neighborhood and just take a casual walk every day until we see him.
So how long is this road trip gonna be?
Until we find him. So, you can work remotely, right?
Yes, I can.
Well, there's your answer. We're gonna
We
go.
still have an LMG trip to plan, so
Well, that went from like Phoenix to this place to that place to not happening to this. I'm like, ay, ay, ay. But you better give Julia your address if you want to go to her event. So she was trying to talk shit about you in the group chat the other day, and you didn't give her your address. So it's gonna
I,
be an event to remember.
did she add me in the group chat?
It's in the group chat. And she said, Lamar, you're clearly the only one that didn't want to put your address. So you want to come to this event or nah?
I didn't even see it. I
You
didn't
better go
see
and
it
respond right now. No, I'm just
for
kidding.
sure.
Um, no, but it's always good to know because I feel like you on a level like we don't really see people in Boston, right? Like at the
You never
my
gonna see me in Boston, girl. I ain't gonna lie to you. I have no reason to be in Boston.
me.
I mean, yes,
Right.
yes, yes. But I'm gonna have to just bring you to here because that's the I don't see myself coming to Boston. I'm gonna need
That's
something.
actually that was actually something that I've been trying to plan. And I was like, is that the birthday vibe going to LA? But then I was like, but I want to go to Art Basel. So let me just go back to
Mm,
Miami. And,
mhm.
so I'm hoping sometime this winter or spring, perhaps LA, because I think it's very overdue. I haven't been there in a few years.
And just
So
checking with Bo. I think Bo will be coming out here soon because right now you have Ty, Venus, myself, 6'5", Mellow, and Damage out here.
yes. 6'5" is living his best life in Ghana right now, but he'll be back in LA soon.
We've linked once. We've both linked twice, but we've linked once. He's been to the set before.
Nice, nice. So it's like we have like a huge division of East Coast and West Coast, like, but all the West Coast pretty much are consolidated into LA.
And
So
we don't even. But the thing is, we don't even like Mello came out for my birthday. She came out and helped me celebrate my birthday at Damages event. I might go see because Damages event is actually tonight. I think I might go because I haven't seen him in a minute. It's the holiday, so I'm
tell him
thinking
I
about
said hello.
my nephew.
Tell him when you see him, even though I was just DMing with him like earlier today, right? Tell him he still owes me my secret Santa gift from 2 years ago because he was my secret Santa and that motherfucker never sent it to
Did we
me.
ever do Secret Santa?
It was before you guys were joined into the group, I think.
Oh, gotcha. I think we tried to do it or try to do something like that and just never.
Yeah, or
Shit.
maybe no, because it was December of 2020. So we were already together as a group, but he was my secret Santa.
Damn.
Julia was Janelle's secret Santa, but instead of mailing it to her because they both live in Philly, she's like, I'm gonna drive it to her house. But Janelle's Ring camera picked her up on like having her run across the porch,
That's
drop it off,
hilarious.
run away. So she kind of
That's
figured out
really hilarious, actually. Got them ring cameras gonna snitch. That's one thing about it. They gonna tell all the business.
yes. So she texted me dying, like, oh my God, please watch this video. And it was like Julia, like, do, 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 and then like dropping it and running. And I was like, I love it. But I also appreciate the fact that she took the time to go there, deliver it, and then, leave. But I was like, oh my God. But yeah, I like every couple of months, I'm like, damage, where's my secret Santa gift? So, it's that time of year again. So if you do see him tonight, just be like,
I'll
full
be sure to mention it.
disclosure, here's her address. It's in the group chat. Send it,
Right.
please. So,
Yeah,
oh
that's
my God.
hilarious.
No, but I think you should go. I mean, if you don't have anything going on tomorrow that you have time to go out and enjoy yourself tonight, absolutely go do so.
I'm gonna be outside all weekend and a lot of different things. But today has been very gloomy. It's been very cold. It's been weird. I feel a
Yeah.
bit under the weather. My body feels achy.
Okay, so maybe not because don't push yourself too hard. Yeah.
Yeah, so I may not, it's been a weird day, and I know we mentioned we were gonna talk about
Yes.
my my mind is going
Yes.
blank.
No, I know. We'll talk about it. And we didn't even before we started recording. You said it was gloomy. Yet today here, I think when I woke up this morning, it was 23 degrees. This is clearly the coldest day that we've had this winter. It's not even
23.
official. Yeah, it's not officially winter yet for like another week. But yeah, I had to bust out like the real big puffer coat today. And I was like, oh, winter is here. Winter is
It is.
very
It's
much.
been here. This weather here has been like not LA weather.
Yeah. No, this is
It's
kind of like almost too cold for this time of year. Like you get that deep freeze feeling January, like definitely into February because it's like consistently cold. But like last month we had like 70, like mid 70-degree days and it drops to 40s and it's back up to 60. And then it's like here that like that's New England, but like right now it's just cold. So I was like,
yeah,
oh,
that's valid.
the real winter accessories and coat need to come out now. Like, and that's why my hair slicked back, because I was like, I have an option to go outside with my hair wet and wear it naturally and have it basically be icicles, or I take the time to straighten my hair. I was so homicidal this morning, so I was like, nope, it's the slick back for me. I was like, I don't have time. I hate everything I put on my body. I was stuck in traffic. I get to work. I'm like, ah! So I was like, it was one of those days. So I was like, you know what? I wore this sweatshirt to work and I'm not changing for the interview. I'm like, it's fine.
It looks cozy. It's winter time. Like it fits the aesthetic. It's fall. It works.
Thank you. I had this like whole turtleneck sweater moment that I was gonna wear for you tonight. And then I was like, no, I don't even want to put it on because it's itchy. I'm like, no, not doing it.
not that it's itchy. That's hilarious.
Yes, this bitch is like very sensitive to wool, just FYI.
I understand that.
And I still like was like, but this is a cute sweater, so let me buy it.
It's a
Yeah,
nice sweater.
right.
You look
So
nice.
whatever. Fashion over anything, right? No, I'm kidding.
Facts.
But yeah, okay. So I want to talk to you about kind of like, we spoke about this in our first interview, and then like with what's been happening with the news lately, I want to kind of get you like your perspective on things, because it's a gloomy day, not only with weather but a lot of like current events that are happening. So we just found out today, and you guys obviously like this is gonna air weeks after it's already happened, but Twitch has died. He's only 40 years old, died from what they're saying is suicide. And, everybody's like, I seriously just cannot believe it. He was just posting TikToks with his wife dancing. He always seems so happy. And like, I was literally just watching him yesterday. Like, what in the world happened? And Lamar and I went into an in depth conversation in our first interview talking about like mental wellness and, kind of like the journey that we've both been on. I mean, the highlight obviously was on him. But we've spoken about that and how it's affected. And now that you're more in that space of like the entertaining space, and you might see more of kind of like the pressures that Twitch may have been up to, the people that are in LA and based there, and kind of like how they siphon your energy and your love and all this stuff, because they're trying to just like make money off of you and not be like a good person to you. Kind of like I want to just like hear your thoughts obviously about his loss. Because I was literally, I had chills. I was like so heartbroken. I'm like, this is so incredibly sad, because he just seemed like such a good guy, like all
Yeah.
around, family man, entertainer, just like a good light to be around. So about his loss, and then also kind of about like the space that you're in mentally, because when we talked about this, you were Florida based, whether it was like your hometown, whether it was in Tampa, your struggles going on in here, but now you're in a totally different environment, surrounded by totally different people, doing a totally different job, different expectations of you. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah.
It's a lot. First off, I mean, when I that's the first thing I think when I went to Instagram, I opened my eyes at 9 o'clock, I think it was, or 8:57. I went on Instagram, and that's the first thing I saw. And literally, I was like, wait, no. I literally like, sometimes when you wake up in the morning, it's hard for you, like you don't necessarily have a voice. Your voice is
Yes.
still kind of like sleeping as well. But like I was able to like let out not a yell, but like, I was like, wait, no. So I'm scrolling, and I was like, what? It was shocking for me. It's not like I was a super Twitch fan. It wasn't like I followed him on social media platforms, but I was very familiar. I knew enough about the guy to feel the sentiments for his passing, and to see that he was a black man that that allegedly took his life. Um, I remember, him being on Ellen, and I remember him hosting Ellen when all that stuff was going on, and just he always, from what I know, that man, if he were to say, oh yeah, that's the guy that's always dancing, he's always so happy. Like, oh, yeah, he seems like he's dope as fuck. He's like a great friend. Like, that's the image, which I think is a great thing, because everybody, I think, has that image of him, right? It's like Dance with the Stars and Elling and Pop Lock and Drop It and TikTok, and him and his wife just celebrated an anniversary not too long ago. And it's just like, he just checked to a hotel yesterday, a motel yesterday, and today it's being pronounced that you allegedly committed suicide. And it's just like, what happened between now and then? You have 2 or 3 beautiful kids. You have this beautiful wife. Everything seems so happy. And of course, we all seem so happy. You know what I mean? I could be here and people see my social media and probably think, oh, Lamar's living his best life, but not know what I may be struggling with behind my reels and my TikTok hips and with my live with Lamar. And same thing with you, Katie. You know what I mean? Like nobody knows what we're going through. Nobody knows what you went through when were house hunting. You know what I mean? There's all these different things that we go through mentally that you're not sharing with everybody, right? When you have these moments where you're stressed about money or jobs and pandemic and inflation is going on, and then you content creators, right? And we're having this pressure on us to always put out content because that's the only way we're going to get business, right? You have to be on Instagram. Working in social media has been one of the most draining things for me because I can't never get a break from social media because not only am I pushing out my own content, I'm pushing out content for other people. And I'm always on Instagram having to read about Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez, having to read about Carisha and Diddy and whatever mess they got going on, having to read about Saweetie and Lotto and Cardi B and Nicki Minaj and their BS, and having to read about this death and Christy Alley. And people are just like it's just so much, and it's like it's so heavy. And then around the holidays, Christmas is next week, and it's like this man is now gone a week before Christmas, and he has young kids who still care and are looking forward to Christmas. And now this is their first Christmas. They're gonna wake up with
Without
their
him.
dad not there, and it's tough. The industry is a lot, and more people are starting to speak out and also take reins where it's like, yo, I know I'm Tracy Ellis Ross, or I know Jay Z, or I know Idris Elba, I know whoever, but I don't feel like it today. I just don't. I need a moment. And it's so crazy because me and Janisha talked about literally, we have a whole segment speaking about what I was talking to you about. And it's like, I need a moment. Like, I need a moment where I can just sit on my couch, be wrapped in this blanket, have my hot chocolate, my eggnog, maybe spiked, and watching Christmas movies or nothing. Like, and I just need that moment, right? And oftentimes we shun the fact of like not being okay. And one thing I've learned in LA, I think I went to like a depressing moment maybe about a year ago where I was talking to Brian, my big bro, and I just like, bro, like I'm just not okay. And like I feel good to be able to say I'm not okay. Now I know I'm going to be okay, but right now I'm not okay. Doesn't mean I'm going to commit suicide. Doesn't mean I don't feel those things. But I'm just not okay right now. I just need a time I don't need the encouragement. I don't need the be strong. I'm here for you. I got you. You just sometimes you just don't need that. You just
Right.
want a moment to just feel what you're feeling and process it all to figure out your next steps.
Yes.
Because I'm a suicide survivor. I think I shared that before. And I've tried to commit suicide 3 times when I was younger. And I don't see myself ever getting to that point ever again. I hope not. But I know how important mental health is, especially when you're always on the scene, when there's this pressure in the entertainment world where you always have to show up. Even with Brian, we were text today, and him and his tribe, they recently lost a friend, and they were Twitch passed away today, and he's just like, it was just in the air. And Brian has a gig tonight, tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. He's DJing all week, and I told him, I said, bro, I said we're gonna get through it. I said, I know it sucks when you need a moment, but you have the superpower of a DJ, and music heals. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to come out this weekend, probably get a drunk off their ass, just need a drink, just need an outing because they're stressed. And your music is going to warm their heart. And it sucks again because you need a moment,
Yeah.
but other people now need you to show up for them these 4 events this week because that music, your energy, your bopping, your smile, your dancing is going to warm their hearts up and make them forget about the fucking real world, right? Because this adult shit, I think Amanda Seales posted a video today, and she was speaking about like, yo, being an adult, being grown, life, this shit is a lot. Like, you just never know. Groceries are fucking expensive. DoorDash is expensive. Cooking, health, working out, switching to new platforms, technology is so stressful. And oftentimes, I think it's just important that we just remember to take moments to where you can say no. Like, I just need a mental health day. Like, I can't do it. Like, even with work, I just can't come in and say, I'm sorry, I'll come tomorrow, but tonight, do what you gotta do. But I need a day. I can't deal with your customers. I can't deal with your tech issues. I can't deal with talking on the phone. I can't deal with you. No offense. I just need time to myself. And I think the more we normalize that, the better. There's no telling what Tush was going through, right? Because we last we seen him, he was happy, right? We
Right,
didn't.
I mean,
Nobody
he just
expected this
posted, what, like, 3 days ago maybe?
because it's
A
like this.
TikTok.
Yeah, it's like a car accident. And God, I don't wish this on nobody, but if we woke up and see him in a car accident, we've been like, damn, like whoa. But
How
to see he
unfortunate. Yeah.
but the fact he committed suicide from a guy we last all see and know, we don't, none of us have any bad images. It wasn't like he was strung out on drugs, beating his wife, some type of allegations. None of that was going on. Like, at least, I mean, to the public, I'll say it. None of that was going on to the public. We just see this guy that's happy and smiling, just amazing, handsome dude that's just doing great things. And it's a lot. It's a lot of pressures. It's a lot of pressures to do this and do that. And yeah, if I've learned anything about being out here is just to take time for yourself, to decompress, to go home. You know what I mean? Luckily, I have a tribe, and tribe is a big word, a term I learned out here in LA, and it basically means your community within your community within your community. And I have several tribes. You know, I have my college tribe, and that is like my biggest normal life tribe. You know, that those are the people that know me as Brandon. Those are the people that went to school with me. Those are the people that I seen the glow up. Those are the ones that seen me when I first was hosting and had on baggy suits and a ugly ass tie. That's my tribe. So whenever I want to get away from the real LA Hollywood scene and the watch parties and the premiere parties and whatever, I can get with my boys and we can have a drink and smoke and eat some wings and just have a normal. And it's just us. It's no Hollywood stuff. I'm not on the scene. I'm with them. I'm not on no red carpets. I'm with those boys. And those moments are so important. Even my friends that don't live out here, you know, having those moments to call them, like my best friend Quincy, and being able to talk to him on the phone while he's on the road and like be able to get away from this LA life, because LA is LA and it's always gonna be here, but it's not, you know what I mean? Like you have to step away. And again, it gets stressful, it gets demanding. Because people, everybody feels like they own you. People feel like they have access to you. Like, you know what I mean? Like Rihanna. I think Rihanna said, like, for instance, you know, we all, which we do, we want an album. But like even Rihanna, she's like, yo, I know y'all keep begging for an album, but like I don't want to put out an album right now. I don't feel like putting out an album right now. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings. I'm sorry, not sorry. But I'll get to when I get to. I have other things I'm worried about right now, and that's not on my mind. I'll get to when I can. If you're a true supporter and a true fan, you will stay around and you'll understand and give me my space. And that's like the realness of it, right? To where they can say, I don't feel like it right now. I need a break.
Yep.
I'll come back. But everybody, again, especially when you're a celebrity, everybody feels like they own you. They feel like they have to, they just, you have to do this. You have to do that. Like, fuck what you got going on. You gotta show up. It's like, no, I don't.
Right.
I
And I
choose
think,
to.
yeah, with celebrities, it's like you feel like you owe it to your fans. You owe it to the news outlets that are reporting about you. You owe it to everybody that has eyes on you, whether you have managers, executives of a record label, or this or that.
DMs, backlash, comments, people talking shit about you left and right. You gotta deal with that.
And like, do you take that with a grain of salt, or like, do you believe that that's what it is? And you know, it's sad because I just, that moment, that's like what was giving me the chills, is like reading the report of his wife like running into the police station frantic because she's like, it's so unlike my husband to leave the house without his car. She knew something was wrong, and like what led up to that moment where he like made that decision, I'm going to leave the house, I'm going to go check in, these are my last moments. Like it's so heartbreaking because it's like,
I need answers. I
how
just
did
want to
you get
know.
there? You
Yes.
know,
Like I
it's
don't know, how did you get here? Exactly. Like what was the final straw? Like what made you say F all this, F like you know what I mean? And I think it's easy because you know a lot of people do say that when people commit suicide that it's selfish. And I can feel those sentiments. You know what I mean? I definitely thought that when I was, as I'm saying what I'm saying now, I'm like, damn, like what would made you say fuck your kids? Christmas is next week, fuck your wife, I just celebrate anniversary. Like, damn, man, like did you not think about how this is gonna hurt them? Like, did you not think about those things? Like those are questions I have, and I think I'm right to have those questions without not meaning no disrespect to his passing, because ain't no
right.
telling what he was dealing with. But like we said, what got you to that, to where you said, like, no. But again, me being me and me being somebody who survived, you know, I didn't. I was trying to overdose on pills. shit, something must have got me to that point to where I was hoping I didn't wake up tomorrow. You know
Well,
what
and
I
I think
mean?
that's like what people fail to understand. Like, you're not, and I don't want to say, because it's like kind of awful to say you're not in your right mind, but you're not in your
But
right mind.
you're
Like,
not.
these thoughts are so obsessive and are taking you over that you feel like this is the only option. There is no alternative. So the fact of wherever he felt mentally that he needed to be, he was finding relief in doing this. He wasn't thinking like, I'm going to break my wife and my children's hearts, and I'm going to leave behind all of these amazing things. This is my option because this is what I need to do to be at peace. And I
Yeah.
think that goes for anybody that like is in that space, like whether you actually like attempt to, are a victim of it, a survivor of it, you have the thoughts of it, like, or you're totally fine. Like, where, and I don't say fine, everybody's fine, right? That's so not true. Nobody's fine in this fucking world. But
At all.
but it's like,
You're always going through something. We're always stressing and thinking about something that you just like fucking inflation.
yeah, fuck that, first of all.
I spent
But
$10 on a case of water at Walmart. That was upsetting. I did it like 2 weeks ago and I'm still upset.
dispute that charge. Uh Like, I was robbed. That was not me. Water should
Like,
be
why am I paying $10 for like groceries are expensive, and then it's like, oh, let me eat out, but then that doesn't help because then it's all these fatty foods, and then healthy foods aren't. It's just like Amanda Seals said in her post, no amount of money. every, you have to. I think we have to learn to stick to the core
yeah.
of what we have, and that's community and love and support. All that fame shit and money shit, and as I'm an amateur and a rookie getting into that space, I just continue to take lessons from all my old heads and all my big bros and all my people who've been out here doing this longer than I have for how to deal with it. To where, like, again, when I want to say I don't feel like hosting today, or I'm gonna, whatever I got to do to make sure I have mental health days scheduled. Like, mental health days have to be scheduled. Like, they just have to. Like, vacations are so important. That's why I'm always on a cruise. So peaceful. I need a break away from the world. I need to not have access to my phone. Like, I love to be on cruises because of that. Like, I could buy the Wi-Fi packages, but
You
I'm cool
choose
with
not
not
to.
having it. I'm cool with not having it. I
No,
don't want to
and
talk about
and that's the thing. If you want to be on your phone, it's because you're going to take a picture of something that like you can remember it by, not because you're attached to your phone while you're trying to
it. And
enjoy
I'm
this.
recording it and posting it in real time on Instagram on my IG story. No,
Right.
y'all see the recap when I get back.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
If
And
I
that's the
choose
thing.
to.
You're like, I want to be more present in the moment. If I take a video or a picture, like great, but then I can put my phone away. But like if you're sitting there just like, I have to get content out there. People know I'm on this cruise. There's an expectation of me.
And
Um,
that is, like, I'm glad you said that. I have to create content. Like, I was like, it sucks being in our field. Like, I was telling Brian, it's like you have to. There's an expectation of creating content. Like, you can't even just go somewhere and just do regular shit anymore because you're like, oh fuck, like I gotta put up a reel. Let me record this, and you can't really, like, again, be present in that moment. Like, you're at a concert, like, damn, let me record this because it's gonna be good content for my reel. Like, especially like he's in a program. Like, he's part of a program where he has an expectation of he has to upload like 8 reels a month. So we have to record eight. We have to figure out 8 pieces of content every month for him to upload. Is an expectation. It's contract. Like, and it's like, damn, like you literally can't. Like, even when you're having these moments where your friend just passed away and you don't feel like doing this, you still have to go out and show up because of contractual obligations.
but like, what does his contract like entail? Like, could he literally create a reel about mental illness
It
and
can be
what
anything.
it
He just has to be in it. He has to be in it.
Okay. Because I was going to say, maybe that's a point to like highlight, like, guys, I'm not doing well. This is what's happening in the world. It's extremely draining. And I'm here to like reach out and be that person. And I think like when people use their platform in a strong way to be like, hi, I can still connect to you guys. Because again, at the end of the day, all of these people are human. We see them as celebrities and superhuman. And oh my goodness, like, they're regular schmegular people. They have families, they have a home to sleep in, cars to drive, jobs to do, all of this stuff, right? They're just
Right.
like us. They just have a different skill set, different expectations, right? So it's like, where do you say like, yeah, this is my obligation. I have to do 2 reels a week. And today I'm not going to do a cheery dancy one or like highlighting my DJ skills. I'm going to talk about, I'm really sad right now. And I
Mhm.
think that's fair because I'm like, if anybody in the, that's holding him accountable to this contract were to say contrary, like, no, it has to be upbeat. Like, again, you're not looking out for the best interests of the person that you have the contract with. You're looking to just like build off of their name and their talent. So
I think it's just such a bad statement of like life goes on, the show must go on.
yeah.
That is, so it's kind of like shit happens. You know, there's a lot of people that just kind of like, yeah, like, hey, I know this just happened, but we still got a show to do. It's kind of, it sucks, but sometimes also the pressure of it. You know what I mean? You got ready to go. I know, Blue has told me about a situation where it's kind of like, hey, like we're getting ready to go live, and somebody's, family member or whoever just passed away, but shit, they had to like,
I would be impossible to be that host. I mean, I'm so sensitive anyway. Like I will literally cry at like a McDonald's commercial, be like, "Oh my god, that was so cute." So it's like I that would be too much for me if I had something that shocking, that saddening happen to me. I'm like, I can't be on camera. My eyes are going to be bloodshot. There's probably tears that are coming out. Like I could not physically do that. And that's a hard boundary that I would have to do. Like if you want to have quality content, this is not the moment. Like get a fill in for me, do the show without me, like give me the moment. And I think that that's where like my boundary would come in. But I wanted to ask you because like you're in a different space than you were, when you had those suicide attempts. Obviously, throughout like many different changes, whether you went through therapy, it's like different friend or family dynamic, you're in a new environment, all this stuff. Like, what have you learned from that moment, that very vulnerable moment in your life to where you are now? Like, how do you cope? Because you said, like, I never hope to ever I know I'm not going to ever be in that space in my life again. Like, what took you from that moment where you were extremely vulnerable and not yourself to now where you are? And you're like, okay, I know how to learn to like cope better. And I know like what I need to do to set those boundaries. I mean, you did say some things that you're like, hard stop, can't do this. Recharge in my room. I turn my phone off. I'm doing this, but like, how did you change your mindset to get to that space?
it's so crazy because I don't know if I was dreaming this or if I said it this morning going to sleep, but I recently was saying this yesterday. I know it was like over the night, like the past 24 hours. And I was talking to myself and I was like, yo, you know something, Lamar? You are so loved. Like people really love you. Like people put up with your bullshit. People are willing to do so much for you. People really love you. And I think that alone said a lot for me. I think that moment and recognizing and appreciating like just the love and the support that I have on all levels, the confidence that I've been able to gain with myself and realizing certain things aren't worth it, to realize how strong I am, to realize the endurance that I have within myself to overcome all types of obstacles, to get up and pack from my hometown and drive to Tampa and then to do it again and pack and leave Tampa to drive all the way to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It's okay. I think it's valuable and important for us to toot our own horns and for us to appreciate and look at what we've done. Like, hell yeah, I did that. I am such an amazing spirit and I possess such a bright personality and I'm so loving and I have fun. And so when I have issues with people or people have issues with me, I'm not gonna say, oh, they're the problem because you just never know what's going on. But that's a rare. I don't do that. I really have good intentions, and I know that within my heart. And so, just constantly being fueled with positivity is so important for me. Again, recognize when I'm not okay, and having those moments to not be okay, and then being like, okay, Lamar, you can lay in this bed and not get up and brush your teeth and just lay here and order DoorDash all day. That's okay. But tomorrow I need you to get up, rejuvenated, put your Bluetooth speaker on, turn on Beyonce's Renaissance or NBA YoungBoy, and turn up and shower, and now you bopping around the house because you just feel good. Yeah, like that's me. I do that. When I have moments, I put my phone down disturb. I'm not responding. I see it. I'm just not responding. But I'll hit you back tomorrow. Like, hey, my bad. I need a moment. I was busy. Whatever. I needed a moment. I need a moment just to soak in the darkness of my room, just to recharge.
I love that.
What it
Also,
is.
as I just mentioned about like 2 minutes ago, how sensitive I don't know if you could tell I'm actually crying.
I thought I was like, oh, she's not. She's fine.
When you
It's
go,
okay.
I tell myself I'm loved. And the moment that you said loved, I'm like, oh fuck, here we go. And it was like, and then,
It's
and
so
I'm like,
important to tell you that stuff. So I have affirmations on my mirror in my room. Like people like LA made me become more of who I am as an individual in whole. Like in so many different ways. It made me feel so loved. It made me feel
I
so
can't
great to where I
stop.
can
I'm
stop
sorry.
it. To where I'm able to just like have a great field day and just ball out and just I can go into rooms and dance. I can go to parties and people know they're like they go Lamar moving them hips. They go Lamar. He drinking that tequila. They go Lamar. Lamar is so full of life. He's so like I just feel so youthful and I think it's so important out here and I think people love having my energy around it because I can tell they love having it. It makes me happy to be in rooms with them. I'm just always happy. Like I just like to have a good time. Like I don't want to be fucking sad. I like to turn up and just enjoy
Right.
life. Like so
Because
it's so
being
fun.
sad is not on brand for you. So
Not at all.
it's
Like it's
like,
not me. And like I said, I have those moments, but other than that, like I try to put my best foot forward and I try to show up. And I just LA is amazing. And there's a lot of negativity about LA and fakeness and etc. But the thing is, when you have the right tribe around you and the right people who love you, I'm around nothing but black excellent, amazing, beautiful, hardworking, consistent people every single day. My Instagram feed is full of that. Besides all these blog sites I follow, which I can't wait to unfollow them. Um, and that's it. When I go out, when I'm at parties, trust me and believe, I'm around love. Like
yeah,
LA is full of love. It's so like it's fakeness out here. It exists in some part of this city, but not where I'm at. I press trust and believe when you watch my story and see me, I just know that space is full of love. I'm not around nowhere where it's hated energy. I'm not around nowhere where it's fake and people don't mean when they say good luck. Like it's truly, really like amazing. Like it's gosh, I can go on and on, but I love LA. LA is amazing. Like, this is home. Um, I've never felt this much like myself ever in my life. Like I'm me. Like there's no sugarcoating. Like what you see is what you see, and like y'all, like what you see and what you know, Katie, that's who I am out here. Like it's not no fake. This is 100% me.
real Lamar Robinson. Yes.
Yes,
Okay, I need to stop. They're like dwindling down, but I'm still like, I'm leaking. That's so embarrassed. It's
that's
not
realness.
embarrassing.
That's realness. This is real TV. This is real life,
Yes.
people.
I told you I'm
This is
so
real moment.
sensitive. I'm a sensitive
It's okay, but I
fuck.
share real life moments. These are real life. These are real things. Like and um is important and also it's easy for me to share it with you as a
Right.
friend and our friendship and so it's easy you know what I mean for me to be open on your show and your platform that you so graciously invited me on again so it's always great like I enjoy it.
Yeah, you're welcome anytime. But I think the nice kind of like mindset to have, like, well, I can't even talk right now. I'm like, no, but the nice mindset to have, right? When you're like, I'm in these places that are like nothing but love. It's because you're choosing to be in those spaces, right? And I think like having that, like, could you get your foot in the door at a celebrity event where it's nothing but clout chasing, fakeness, plastic bodies, plastic jewelry pushing off as like,
It's a lot
you
of
know,
fakeness and people don't mean it.
no. And but you're like, could I lead my life down that road to get like higher up in the game? You could very much easily choose that, but you're like,
That's a
no,
lot of ways.
I enjoy the life I'm having. I enjoy the life where I'm at. I feel full of life. I feel full of love. I'm going to choose to be in those spaces where all of that is like fully valued, appreciated, exercised, all that stuff, you know? So it's like, it's nice. And like, I think so many people, like, you could have stayed in your hometown for your whole life, you would still have these same comments. It's fake. It's this. It's, so the fact that you are choosing to be in a space and not to say you weren't unhappy in Tampa or anything like that, but the fact is that you're like, I'm going to move to a space where I can feel full. I can feel, that I'm really myself. I can be myself. I can be comfortable with myself. I can exercise who I am meant to be as a human, like at
And I
this.
don't have to second guess every time I walk in the room to where it's like, oh, let me turn that off. Like, I can just in the room with like all my switches at the same level.
Yeah,
Like, it's just that. Like, it's just, like, it's just that. Like, I don't have to be worried about what people are going to say, what people think. Ooh, no, not the spaces I go in.
Right, right. But also, I don't think people are gonna be like, he's an asshole. Never would have assumed that of you. So you're like, you have nothing to be scared about of what people say about you because you're like,
Right.
I'm
And I'm like
solid
a
and
funny
I'm
asshole.
fun.
My assholeness is I don't mean no malice behind it. I'm only an asshole people that I know understand that.
Right. I mean, like
Like
when
both.
I see you and would you say like Bo?
Yeah. Like
Because
I can be an asshole to him. You know what I mean? That's just our banter. We just banter back and forth. And I know you love it.
well, and that's the thing I was exactly just gonna say. Like in our group thread, like Bo and Lamar go at each other's jugulars, and like they don't see because it is a text message thread. If I were to send a photo, my jaw is on the floor half, if not all the time. I'm like, I
Did he
can't
just
believe
say
that they said that to each
we
other.
be
That
going
is
in?
so
So
disrespectful. And why did you even think of that? And then why did you even think to write that? What? But I'm like, I know it's in all good fun. And I'm like, for one of them to say it, the other one's going to come back 10 times harder. And it just keeps going up and
gonna
up and
keep
up.
going, and we're gonna laugh, and then we typically hop on Facetime probably after that, and then just talk shit in person.
But
That's us.
you all know that none of that is real. You're like, I'm saying this not to hurt your feelings or to like
Right.
make fun of you with like
We're
ill
just
intent.
joking.
We're literally like, this is a comedic roast 24/7 and nobody is immune to it. So,
So me and Bo joined LMG together. Like we were on the same email thread, and we just been brothers since then.
yeah.
That's where it started. I literally damaged email both of us at the same time about the league and etc. And that's we literally joined together, and we've been cool since then.
Yeah. Isn't that so wild to think that like all of us strangers have like come into each other's lives just like, hey, I'm gonna learn something from this alleged 6-week course, the 6-week course that turned into a year and a half.
Yeah.
Thank you, Image.
Shout out to damage.
Yeah. Well, and I like texted Gabe and Julia, I think like 8 weeks in, and I was like, hey guys, like, isn't this supposed to be a 6-week course? Like, I
And
mean,
Gabe probably was like, "Child, I don't know, but I'm not gonna say nothing."
well, and that's exactly what I said to him. I was like, no, I very much am like enjoying this and I'm just gonna let it roll. I'm not
6 weeks
gonna
was
be
too short, anyways. I feel like we
like,
needed way 6 weeks.
yes, I was like, I'm not gonna be the teacher's pet to be like, excuse me, damage. When is this wrapping up? I was like, I'm gonna let this shit fly for as long as we can. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the people that I'm on a Zoom call with every single Sunday night. Like, I'm gonna enjoy this space. So yes, let me do that. And the fact that like we all still talk, like that ended a year and a half ago, and we're all still like, talking to each other. It's incredible. I love it. We all have such good connections and whether it's chatting, doing interviews, text messages, meeting up in person, like all this shit. Like we're fam.
Absolutely, that's what it is. That's what a TI is.
Yes, as my like throat. I'm like, we're fam. I was like get emotional. I
Jesus,
know. I'm a sensitive thug. I just told you that.
that's me
No, they're
too.
dry now. They're dry. They're definitely dry, but I have some tear stains. Thanks for the mediocre quality of Zoom and my computer, but yes, I do have some tear stains. You can see them there.
I see the drops.
Yeah. So, all right. So I'm not going to hold you forever because you did say you're feeling a little under the weather, and whether or not you choose to go to Damage's event or you want to just go sit in your bed and watch TikTok, like that is completely up to you, but you need to get better.
And
So
me.
I will wrap this up so you don't have to sit here all night long, although we could probably go all night long chatting. But we just wrapped up season 3 of Live with Lamar officially.
Yes,
What
yes.
is on the docket for 2023? Have you decided yet? Or are you just going to take a break, absorb this moment, enjoy this moment, strategize for the new year? Like, do you have a game plan so far?
I'm just gonna strategize. I have a couple people I want to meet with that I feel like can bring value to the platform and to the show to make it bigger and better and more put together and concise and just greatness. So I'm looking forward to that. Definitely gonna take a break. But we'll be back top of the year, somewhere around January, February, late January, early February.
Take
Season
your
4 will be
time.
back. Bigger guests, bigger moments. Just yeah, overall in this amazingness, we got it. I plan to be in this set for at least another year. So yeah, and then we'll probably be in a different location come the end of the year. We'll see.
Oh, ooh, we're gonna have to wait and find
Got
out.
a whole year, but yeah, there's gonna be some changes, but it's gonna be great.
Yeah, no, but all very much welcomed changes, you're embracing and growing from here. So I'm like, that's amazing. Now, we kind of know that. Is there anything else that you want to achieve in 2023? Like you're moving and evolving the brand, but you as a human, you as a content creator, like, is there anything that you want to lock in? You want to make money,
More money.
more money. Hopefully,
It's
no
more money.
problem though.
No problem. Less debt, more money. This is my 20, excuse me, this is my 20 grind year. So I'm trying to grind because 30 is next November. And I want to be the best individual, the best man I can be in all aspects of my life, spiritually, physically, mentally, financially. I'm trying to get it all together. Like it's time. And that's my focus for this next year is to really grind and really get myself together. So going into 2024, we're in a whole different space, and I really, really can take over LA the way I want to.
I'm excited. And I know that you can do it in a short time span just because look at what you've done in the 2 years so far. So you can achieve that in 1 year with no problem. I already feel that. I'm like, you're probably already going to be going to your room tonight. Like, let me have a cup of tea and let me start like executing this plan. It's not like you're just like, and I think that's a great quality about you. Like, even when you're taking time to rest, you're still like dreaming and strategizing and figuring out like, where am I going to go here as a human, as a man, but also like where I'm taking my career to be into the next level and how to get there. So, but I love how you're extremely genuine with your brand, but you also have like a good understanding of like, this is me. This as a human is also me. And I know I can separate the two. That's like R. Kelly. Like everybody's like, I still low key listen to his music, but I don't like him, what he did. Like, how do you separate the
The music,
artist from
yeah,
the human? But I think you're
music is
solid
different.
on, yeah, you're solid on both levels. So yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I try to be. And I just think being one's full self is so important to be able to even combine those two people to where it's like you get both and you get authenticity on all levels. So when I'm sitting in this chair and I'm live, you're going to get it all. You're going to get Lamar on and off the camera. Like that's the most authentic thing I can do.
Yes. Keep that up, please. Keep
I
that up.
will, of course.
Yes, I love you.
See,
Um,
I'm more.
yeah, sunlight. Okay, so we're at the end. Hopefully people are still actually paying attention to this interview. But drop your social handles, YouTube, all this stuff. Like obviously the Live with Lamar TikTok is coming soon. But just share anything so people can find you. And if they don't know by now that they can find you on my social media platforms, they're stupid. And I just have to tell them that. But
You can
go
find
find
me
him.
everywhere. Lamar Robinson TV on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok. And then Live with Lamar is the platform on TikTok and on Instagram.
Are you gonna
That's me.
are you gonna run away from Twitter? Or are you hanging on?
Twitter is whatever to me. I just have it there. I've always been. I don't have my Twitter is just not what I. It's not curated the way I wanted to yet. I've been procrastinating to like have the right following and the followers. So Twitter's just there. I don't know yet.
All right. I'm curious because you mentioned it. I've never had a Twitter account. I've never had
I've
any
had
interest in
Twitter
it.
for years,
Yeah, and I'm like, it's not for
like
me,
10
but
years.
yeah. But you know what? Stick with it if you want. It might turn into something. I feel like Elon's time at Twitter is going to be very short-lived.
Yes. We don't
So,
know. I just like I said, a lot of times with negative like that, I kind of scroll past it. I try not to indulge in things like that. I just try to mind my business because it just be so much. I just see it and I keep it pushing. I just be like whatever,
well, right. And you're like, "Oh, okay, I have to cancel this app. I have to cancel this celebrity. I have to do this."
whatever.
Like, with everything that's been going on with Kanye and Balenciaga and this and that. And it's like, if we cancel every individual, every company, every this, every that, like, what is there left? Like, you're always going to find somebody you don't agree with or like think that things like are morally wrong. But at the end of the day, people are still going to live their lives. So it's like, why build up all this hate and resentment towards somebody if you're like,
And people be fake mad anyway. People don't even really be mad. People be mad for like a day and then they forget it. So I just don't. I just let people do their things. I worry about myself.
yes,
That's nothing to
you,
do with me. I don't care.
yes, you wear what you want to wear, listen who you want to listen to. Like, just
It's
Enjoy
gonna be
life.
that. Y'all fake. Y'all are fake mad. Y'all not even mad for real.
No. Like for me, I'm like, I don't like actively go out and I mean, and this has been for years now, but like actively go out and like purchase Kanye's music and stuff because I'm like, I didn't like the direction he's going.
Hmm.
Um, but will I still listen to his old songs that I have on my phone or whatever? Yeah, I will. But I'm not like, okay, I'm gonna continue because you're still getting money off my streams of like, you know, college dropout. You know what I mean? So
Facts.
it's like
And then it's
whatever.
gonna come on. It's gonna come on. It's Kanye. He has some classics, and tomato tomato is all politics. And I don't like getting into politics. It's always so messy.
Right. And I'm like, and at what point did like all of a sudden, I don't think that like I was like, oh, we're going to end this. And I'm still talking. But the anti Semitism comments, I think was the straw that broke the camel's back. I don't think truthfully that that was like the only exclusive reason why everybody was dropping him. I think the George Floyd comments, I think what he was doing with Kim and Pete Davidson earlier in the year, I think it was
Yeah.
just like a snowball effect of him doing all of this stuff. So while
Hmm.
I feel like the anti-Semitism comments have been the scapegoat for that. He's been fucking wrong on all of this stuff. And we need to acknowledge that. Like to say things about George Floyd, to say and harass your soon to be ex wife and her boyfriend, to be posting your children's school on social media and putting every student and staff member at risk because you know that other fans are not going to, like, they'll show up at that school. Like, that shit's not right at all. But they were just like,
Kanye gonna do
oh,
Kanye. Kanye is always very calculated.
yes, yes. So, well, apparently he's autistic. He's not bipolar. According to him, he's self-diagnosing himself. So, whether or not you're on the spectrum or you have other like mental abilities and disabilities and whatever, so be it. But I'm not going to subscribe to that.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But I'm not saying I'm canceling him either. I'm just like I just don't fuck with you, you know?
Yeah, I know how to hold him accountable and keep it pushing. But I keep it pushing. It be every day is something. And social media again is draining. That's also how I protect my mental health. 'Cause I don't get too deep into those conversations. Like I'll see it until it's like bashed into my face. Now I have to know about it. But for the most part, I'll keep scrolling. Like I don't even do my research. I don't. Mm-mm. It's
Yeah.
draining, and I'd rather not. Even with the Meg Thee Stallion tour stuff, I'm like not even reading the report. I'm seeing some of the
You're just
headlines
like,
because it's just like back to back, but like I'm just like I don't care. Like
yeah.
y'all not paying my bills.
Exactly. But I will tell you like and I try like I'll be knowledgeable enough about the news, but I'm not like I have to
That,
watch every moment. But I will tell you with like Takeoff's death or like other celebrity deaths, I go into full investigating mode and I'm like a full out detective. Like I'm gonna solve this crime. I just want to also let you know that I'm like, I will find the murderer based on that 20-second video where everybody's feet are being shown and literally you can't see
yeah,
anybody's. I am going to determine that. So it's like
a lot of
I also get that attachment. And then literally, this is my one last thing, and I'm gonna leave you with this, and then we can say goodbye. I think it is really fucking weird, and I've said this on my show from day one, and I've always felt this way. It is really fucking odd to me that people will follow somebody on Instagram or any social media that has passed away. Like I went on Twitch's Instagram earlier when I was at work because I was like, I'm in disbelief, right? And then a few hours later, it has grown to over 300,000 like more followers. I'm like, why? It's like it's showing fake love at that point. Like, why are you now choosing to actively follow somebody and they're not going to be posting anymore. You know what I mean? It's so weird to me.
no, I can feel that. It definitely is different. People are
People are
different though.
odd.
It's the world we live in. People are odd,
People. That's
very
why
odd.
I social. Fuck people. But
That's
it's
the
a
best way to be.
right,
Sometimes you need those.
exactly. So let me sit in this corner of my room with my little pillows and I'm just be
And
anti-social.
mind my business. It
I'm just
is what it is.
like let me kick back. But thank you so much, Lamar. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that fun stuff. I'll see you in 2023. I'll make my LA trip out there, but I'm
We
sure
here.
we'll be talking. You better go back into that text message thread before you really let the day go away. So what is this? I can't. Talking about school shootings. I can't go back. You
See,
know, that's the stuff I'm like, I can't anymore. All right. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna leave you. I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
of course, thank you for having me.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye, my love.
Bye.